A few years ago, I was teaching a lesson on baptism in the early church, and a student raised her hand. "So you're telling me that there are different ways of baptizing people?" she asked. What made her raise her hand? I was talking to the students about an ancient document called the Didache, or Teaching of the 12 Apostles. This is one of the earliest documents in Christian history, and it reads a bit like a church manual or a book of discipline. It outlines instructions for worship and organization, administration, and evangelism. One of the key things that this document discusses is how to baptize someone. The New Testament, although it has a number of stories about baptism, never explicitly says how to baptize. The word baptizo, which is the Greek word from which we get baptize, can be translated immerse, dip, or submerge. This translation would seem to indicate that to baptize means you have to put someone all the way under the water, like in a river or a pool. Didache, written not long after the New Testament, says this: "Baptize in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit in running water. But if you do not have running water, baptize in other water. If you do not have cold water, then use warm water. But if you have neither, pour 3 times on the head in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit." Immediately after reading this quote, the question from the student came: "So you're telling me that there are different ways of baptizing people?" "Well, yes," I said. The early church, from its earliest days, recognized that not everyone would be able to follow a specific instruction to baptize in running water like in a river. So the church allowed for a variety of practice. Why was this so shocking to the student? I found that the student had been baptized by someone pouring water over her head as a young person. And not long after this, a friend of hers from a different Christian tradition told her that she was not really baptized because she had not been fully immersed in water. And for decades, the student believed her baptism was invalid, but she was too embarrassed to speak to her pastor about it. When she heard the words from Didache, she felt liberated from that way of thinking and fully embraced that the baptism she had was truly valid. And she left class that day with a sense of peace that she had not had in years. So why is it important to study church history? Well, Rowan Williams said this: "To engage with the church's past is to see something of the church's future. It's important for us to look back at how the church has grown and developed, both the good and the bad, in order to propel ourselves into the future that God has for us."